SAVA Sciences is up over 25% today in reaction to news that the company just released its phase 3 data which indicated that its Alzheimer's candidate drug is not linked to a common group of side effects associated with FDA-approved Alzheimer's medication. So no side effects for this drug. Well, I shouldn't say no, but less than expected side effects, which is a positive for this company, is a positive for this drug. And it's really a crucial drug within the Alzheimer's space. There really isn't a firm alternative for Alzheimer's patients, and that number has kind of been on the rise. But in this video, what I'll do is I'll go over the short interest for this company. I'll go over some of the things I think you need to know. I'll go over the fundamentals as well. And then at the end of the video, I will give you a price prediction for this stock. So with that being said, let's talk about it. So we do have some upcoming events this week. So they will be releasing their 76-week phase 3 trial of that Alzheimer's drug. They'll get some MRI safety analysis for that this week. And also we will get results of a phase 2 randomized withdrawal study of that Alzheimer's drug. And that will happen on Friday's trading session. So on Friday at 3:30, we will find out about that. So that will definitely be a market moving event for the stock. And then with that being said, let's take a peek at the short interest for this company. So we can see here that they have 13 days to cover. For those that don't know, any time we have a days to cover over 10, it implies that a stock has a high likelihood of a short squeeze. Basically, it tells you that it would take 13.7 days of average volume to cover the shares that are sold short. Also, it's worth noting that short interest as a percent of float is 35%. So those numbers are definitely quite high. And we can see that Fintel actually ranks out this company as the 74th most likely stock within the entire market to have a short squeeze, putting it within the top 2% of stocks in terms of short squeeze likelihood. So that's very interesting there. And it's also worth noting that we have 0 shares available to be shorted right now for the stock. 0 shares available to be shorted. Was about 4,000 6 hours ago, 5 hours ago, roughly where we closed, we had 0 shares available to be shorted. Also worth noting that the short borrow fee rate is quite high. So we have a 15% short borrow fee rate. For those that don't know, this is basically the fee that an investor would charge a short seller to lend out their shares. So 50 is quite high. The average short borrow fee rate is anywhere from 0.3 to 3%. So definitely a high short borrow fee rate, which signals a high likelihood of a short squeeze. And then when we take a look at failure to deliver numbers, we can see here that we have roughly 150,000 shares failing to deliver. For those that don't know, this is basically just when a short seller doesn't actually deliver the shares that they should after an investor obviously asks for them back. So all you really need to know is that this 143,000 level or number here just signals that within the next 60 days, there will have to be 143,000 shares bought by short sellers, or the SEC will come after these firms that are short. So really, like I said, all this means is that within the next 60 days, 143,000 shares will be bought by short sellers. Also, it's worth noting that this is a pretty big jump over the past 2 months. So definitely a good thing for the short squeeze people here. And it's also worth noting that this is the highest number we've seen since last September. And if you remember what happened last September, shares had rose from about roughly $30 to $50 in that month. So this signals to me that a short squeeze is somewhat likely for the stock, and failing to deliver numbers are implying a short squeeze. And then with that being said, so let's talk a little bit fundamentally about this business. So Alzheimer's is really prevalent within the population right now, and its prevalence is actually only projected to increase. So over the next couple decades here, we're going to see this number increase. So in 2030, in 2050, we're projected to have 106 million people. So a third of the U.S. population roughly will be having Alzheimer's. So this is very unfortunate and really does kind of scare me personally. But at least this company is doing something to kind of solve this, right? So right now we have only about 41 million. So we're projected to see Alzheimer's, more than double over the next couple decades, which really does provide this company an opportunity with their drug. And then let's talk about the financials for this company. So obviously we don't have any earnings right now, but we do have a price to book ratio of 3.4. This basically just tells you that the market cap is 3.4 times the value of this company's book value, which book value is basically just its assets on its balance sheet. And this is actually below the company's 5-year average of 7 times. So definitely signaling that the company's trading at a discount relative to its own history in terms of price to book. And then revenue growth, obviously not much to report there. Profitability, not much to report there either. But it is worth noting that the company does have $4 in cash per share, so pretty decent cash holdings. But let's take a look at this company's balance sheet. So we have $168 million in cash and literally zero debt. So anytime you have a company that has not been making money, it's always good to see that they have a very healthy balance sheet, which is what this company for sure has. So zero debt is awesome to see, but it is worth noting that we are burning roughly $76 million over the past 12 months. So yes, we're burning money every quarter. Don't love to see that, but we do have ample cash on hand. We almost have, over 2 years of cash on hand. So definitely a good balance sheet for this company, which implies that we do have some time for this company to obviously, let the trials play out, see what happens with that, and, kind of take it from there. So SAVA still has life, still has the blood of the business, which is obviously cash for a company that isn't making any money. And then Wall Street is very bullish on this stock as well. So there are 5 bullish ratings on SAVA here, and there are 0 bearish ratings on Wall Street. So the most recent update we got was from HR Wainwright, which reiterated their buy rating with a $124 price target. So Wall Street was willing to give this company a $124 price target just in August, so just 2 months ago. So I don't see support on Wall Street waning whatsoever. We have an average price target of $87 as well, which is significantly above the current price of this stock. So you can basically take all this and say that Wall Street is unanimously bullish on this stock. And we do see it within the recent, buys and sells from the large institutions. So we had BlackRock increase their holdings by roughly 5% in this stock, which is definitely a good sign to see. So good to see. And we also saw Vanguard roughly increase their holdings by about 0.6%. Obviously, passive index here, not the end all be all. But it is good to see that the largest asset managers in the world aren't kind of throwing in the towel on this stock. And then with that being said, let's take a look at the chart here and give a price prediction based on technical analysis. So we moved over the 50-day moving average for the first time since early October. And I think we probably come up to this 100-day moving average at around $20, which is where the shares had topped out in August. Obviously, I think this company has potential to move greatly above that $20 level, just kind of making a short-term prediction purely based on technicals and nothing else. So this 100-day moving average acted as resistance back in August. I see it as somewhat logical that we could see a move from this 50-day moving average up to the 200-day moving average at around $20 and see the stock consolidate around that level. Like I said, not saying that the stock couldn't, reach new highs or, even move, higher in the short term. It's just from a technical standpoint, we saw that 100-day moving average act as resistance in the past. Therefore, I believe this 100-day moving average could act as resistance for the future. And then let's take a look at some of the seasonality trends for this stock. So we can see here that in September, shares on average rise 6%, but in October, shares typically decline roughly 3%. But it's worth noting that we're going into a bullish month in November, which shares typically rise roughly 5%. This is actually the 3rd best month in the stock's history. So you add it all up, overall, seasonality trends are in the favor of the bulls. And then kind of as a recap here, I think this company has a huge upside potential. Unfortunately, I really would just want to see them kind of deliver on a couple of those promises, see this drug actually get FDA approval before I kind of dove headfirst into this company with long-term capital. So with that being said, covered a lot in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to, kind of get more breakdowns that I do on stocks all the time, I post almost 2 videos every day. You can subscribe to this channel and leave a like. Really does help out the channel. So with that being said, appreciate you watching, and I'll see you here next time. Looking to learn more about the financial markets? Well, I just released a new course that will teach you everything you need to know about the stock and option markets. You can find that at happyinvestingtoday.com. Also on the site, you can purchase one-on-one coaching sessions where I will break down your portfolio to help optimize your assets to meet your personal financial goals. Additionally, to better assist traders when searching for setups, I'm selling trading bots which will give you buy and sell signals and tell you how your trading strategy has performed historically on any stock or cryptocurrency that you're researching. Finally, if you would also like to see what me and my experienced trading team are doing on a day-to-day basis, join our Discord, which is linked below, for a free 7-day trial. With that being said, please leave a like and subscribe. Appreciate you watching this video.